You know what?
Left a week.
I saw that. I was like, look at that.
No, then,
She left.
and you know, because I had my daughter here. So
Oh, you did?
I knew you
She
should
probably
come
was there.
off. Oh, she was like, I fell asleep. She's on the floor. It's like, you can't.
Well, there's air mattresses in the closet. You gotta
Is
just
there?
get one and blow one up
Oh,
and put it in
yeah, I
there.
didn't know that. I was like, get up, let's go. She's like, I was tired. It's like, oh my God. Yeah, because she stayed after yesterday, so I told her, I said, okay, so you stay after school. I said, I'm going to go pick you up, but I have city council. She's like, kidding. I was like, oh well. So crazy.
Oh, yeah, yeah. It's like, hey, I know it. Me? I do the pledges. I'll trade. She knocked my camera off yesterday. Rachel. Oh, goodness. John. Okay, I want to start it then.
And we have, is there anybody here other than Mr. Sylvia?
No, I don't see the other people here yet.
Do we want to try calling them?
Well, it was the daughter that was going to be submitting the information to them, so I can call her. But I don't want to keep Mr. Sudbury waiting either, because it's at 9 o'clock is the meeting.
Mr. Terrell. Oh. Morning, Mr. Terrell.
Just in time to do our invocation for us, Fred? Just in time for what? Do our invocation for us. I'm not very good at that, but I appreciate it. You ready? We got it. Let's go ahead and get started. Well, here, do you want to try to get going?
I sent her a message.
And get started, we're going to start with, obviously, roll call. We have Jim Plumley down on the end there. Cynthia, how do you pronounce your last name? Perry. Our newest board member, and we really appreciate that. Obviously, she was appointed last night and even came in today. Obviously, I'm John Williams, Chairman of the Zoning Board of Adjustments, and then we have Travis Moore to my right. Daniel, are you taking that?
Yes, I have my stuff.
That work. Let's do the invocation and pledge. Mr. Craig Terrell's going to do the invocation for us. And then Dickie's going to do our pledges. Please. Heavenly Father, thank you for this chance to come to this meeting. Please go with us as we make the decision that will make the best for this city. Bless those people that have traveled very good here to make this meeting. And please go with us throughout the rest of the day.
Amen.
All right, face the American flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Face the Texas flag. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Okay, number 3, we have public comments. Any person of the city-related business may speak to the board in compliance with Texas Open Meetings Act. The board may not discuss or vote on any matter raised in public comments unless it is specifically on the agenda. To speak during the board meeting, you must be recognized by the presiding officer. Public comments will be limited to 3 minutes. And I don't think we have them.
No.
So we'll go straight on to number 4. Number 4 is consideration and possible action on the application by Blake Sudbury. Applicant is requesting variance due to installation of required concrete runners for mobile home parks, which some sizes cannot accommodate 1,000-foot homes. The property is located at 619 Easy Street, legally described as Smith Cleveland Block 0, Lot 3, Tract 2, acres is 3.2. Danielle?
Yes. We do have Mr. Sudbury here who will go ahead and introduce his information on the variance that he is requesting for both the concrete runners for the mobile homes that are required in our ordinance, as well as a 1,000 square foot minimum lot size. Mr. Sudbury?
Good morning.
You'll start right with your name and where you are from. I would greatly appreciate it.
My name is Blake Sudbury. I live in New Caney, Roman Forest, and it's an office mobile home park from Earl Thomas in 2017. This ordinance that I'm requesting the variance on was passed in, I think, December 2018. And it is requiring concrete runners, which is not required by the state, it's not required by manufacturers. It is more of a belt and suspenders for permanent installations. And of course, mobile home park, they were moved in and out, as owners bring them in and take them out. Also, my park was built in the early 70s. And back then, I guess they didn't make these big homes, the 80-footers. So the remaining lots that I have available for spaces, I cannot accommodate 1,000 square foot minimum home. 14 by 56 is a 2-bedroom, 1-bath, I believe. 14 by 62, I think it is, or 64. 64 is real close. In the paperwork that I submitted, a Google Earth deal shows 60 foot is the maximum length I can put on the right side of my remaining lots. So I'm requesting the variance on the concrete runners as well as the 1,000 square foot minimum.
Okay, so let's start off with, we can't do variances. We went over this the last time you were here. We can't do a variance on your entire lot. Mary Ann the legal wouldn't allow us to do it on the entire park. So I know how it's written up, and if the board doesn't have a problem with it, I'm okay if you want to bring forward a lot. We went, if you remember last time, Mr. Sudbury, we went through the same thing. And until the city council changes the rules on it, all we can do is address variances for each individual situation at a time.
Yes, sir. I did show on the,
Well, what I'm going off of is on your application, it says reason for variance. The reason is, park is over 50 years old and cannot accommodate 1,000 square foot minimum. Also, concrete runners are not required for single-wide homes. This request is for remaining spots in the park.
Yes, sir. And in my application, I showed my remaining lots.
Yes, no,
Yeah, but what he's saying, each individual lot's gotta be addressed separately. So if you want, say if you want this spot today,
Uh-huh.
you have to have spot 11B or 11A.
Whatever it is.
And then have that on your application and come in here and say, this is what I'm trying to get the variance on. We can't give you a variance on all your blank spots
so what
At one
what I
time,
at
am
one
willing-
time. We cannot, we can do individually.
But I think what I am willing to do though, because you've already, paid the $200 on variance, if you will give me one of these that you need done, do you have something you're needing done right now? Do you have a current resident wanting to move in? or-
No, sir, no, sir, this was just to get it to where, I look for foreclosures, the number 16 that we dealt with last
Yeah,
time, that was a foreclosure. And, once you send the mortgage company or the
I'm with
foreclosure company, that trailer is yours and it needs to be moved and set.
Okay, so.
I was trying to get ahead of it.
I'm with you.
Yes,
I'm
sir.
with you. And trust me, I understand completely what you're wanting to do. Again, until city council, will, change the laws on concrete runners, or laws on the minimum sizes, the rules on that, which I don't see the minimum sizes changing, to be honest. The concrete runners possibly, but they haven't had a chance to address that. But until then, I told you before, we'll do your variances, we'll look at your variances.
Yes, sir.
But we have to look at them individually, on which ones you want. So, that being said, today, let's try to work something out here. If we can look at, if you want to pick one, if you want to, I know you got these numbered, but if you want to pick one that you want to see about doing a variance on, to where you have one that you can have, get a variance on, and maybe, that'll give you one ahead of the schedule.
Yes, sir. And we could just pick lot number 1,
And show us which one's lot number one.
straight across from 27.
Okay, so straight across from number 27 is number one.
Yes, sir.
Okay, now, I want you to think about this just for a second. If we give you a variance on lot number one, it is only gonna be for lot number one, so is that the next one you're gonna fill up?
That's the one I want to do. I want to put a new home there,
Okay.
buy a new home and put it there to improve the drive-by.
Yep, I'm with you. And, lot number one is the one that's closest to Easy Street, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's very smart. Let's see where you're and so if we're only gonna do lot number one, you're wanting a variance for concrete runners, and does that one, remind me, that one doesn't need a variance though? Oh, yeah, it does.
Yes, sir.
For the size.
Yes, sir.
It's the other side of, it's number 27 is bigger sizes, correct?
Yes, but the left side,
It's bigger, yeah.
I can handle the bigger trailers, but the
Yeah.
right side, I cannot.
As you know, I've been out there times, and I'm
Yes,
trying to
sir.
remember as we're going here.
Yes, sir.
So, the left side, you cannot put, what is the longest you can put in there?
16 was a 76. So it's, the one blank on the left side, that I can put 1,000 square foot on. It's really just the 5 on the right side.
So number 1, 2, 3, well, 5 is, you're missing 4.
Yeah. I guess back in the day, Burl had 4 trailers, and actually, I don't know how he did it, but anyway,
Yeah, I'm seeing what you're doing. So, anything on that, as you're driving in, number 1's on the right side.
yes, sir.
Is there anything on the right, any of those on the right side, can any of those accommodate 1,000 square foot trailer?
Not unless you know, if you look at the Google Earth,
Yes, sir.
if I extended it out past the driveway, but then, you know, that's a drainage ditch where my driveways are. So it would make it look to have the trailers sticking out almost to the road would, to me, make it look trashy.
Number 5, 9, and 11, what size trailers? Well, I see number 11 is going to be a 1,000-foot trailer. What about 5 and 9?
5 is a 1-bedroom, 1 bath, I think it's 48. 9 is a 2-bedroom, 1 bath, so it's probably the 56.
How long have those been here?
Since before I bought the park.
Then number 11, I'm guessing that, now, is it, yeah, it's a big.
11's a longer trailer, but it's kind of catty cornered, you know, so,
Yeah, I see how you got it, yeah. How you make it.
and that one was there.
Danielle, do you by chance have, I know you probably don't have access to his last variances.
I would have to do research on that and get them. I don't have them at the moment.
Oh, I might have it here.
I think the last variance was just concrete runners.
Yes,
It was,
it was
it was
just-
just concrete runners,
Yes.
if I recall, your last variance.
Yes, that is correct.
No,
Yeah.
no, it was, his last one was for concrete runners, and it was number 16, I think.
Yes, number 16, but it's over 1,000 square feet. It's a 3-bedroom.
Oh, it is
Yes,
number
sir.
16 is?
Yes, sir.
Oh, that's right, oh, you were wanting it for the whole building.
Yes, sir.
And what you said the minimum length is, that the minimum length you could get in there? Or the
Well,
maximum?
The maximum length.
That's the minimum.
per the Google Earth, to make it where, you know, the home is practically even with the edge of the driveway, 60 feet. Maybe I might could squeeze 64, which a 14 by 64 is,
896.
there you go. I think a 14 by 56 is like 750-ish.
Would be pushing.
70, I would be out almost to the road.
You're saying almost to the road, you're talking about almost to Campbell Street?
My driveway, yeah, but that's really not Campbell Street, that's,
Correct.
yes, yes.
That's your entrance.
That's my entrance
We're
right
gonna
now.
call it Campbell Street.
It doesn't Campbell, because
Right.
Campbell's across the street.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But my question is, you have individual driveways on the right-hand side here.
Mhm.
You follow me? So 1,000 square foot trailer is gonna push it too far which direction?
Towards the.
Toward Campbell Street.
Yeah.
Like the edge of the trailer be over to the front.
Jim or Cindy, y'all have any questions or comments? Danielle, what's your thoughts on the 1,000 square foot situation?
Considering what trailer, what is that on this number? Hold on, trailer 9, right? Which is your biggest one that you have there? Is that correct?
No, it is some collaborative on that one side.
This one. That's trailer 9, right? Or,
9 is this one.
okay, So this one is,
That one I don't know. That's,
okay.
that was there when I bought the Ford, but it's, owned by, he just pays for the spot.
Okay. I mean, considering looking at the aerial image of what these look like, I'm not opposed to granting the 1,000 square feet, what he's needing for that, because just considering what the image looks like from above, I think that's something that we can go ahead and grant him on that. The concrete runners, if it's not a state law requirement, I don't see why we cannot require that variance on that, especially if it's not a state law requirement and it's just in our ordinance. Maybe that's something that we could go back and take a look at to see if it's something we could change in the ordinance, because I know that, you know, he's gonna have to come back every single time for this. But I'm not opposed to granting both variances that he is requesting today.
Well, we've done the concrete runners. I understand that situation in the past. We have denied the 1,000 square foot situation also in the past.
I mean, considering the park's already there, it's not, he's not creating a new park. I mean, I think I'm good with it. But I mean, we need to set, can't be no tiny, you know what I mean? We gotta have at least, it's gotta be closest to 1,000 square foot as we can. So the biggest maximum fairly you can get in there.
What I want is 2 bedroom, 2 bath. That's,
Which is how big. Because what we don't want is to give you a variance on 1,000 foot rules, 1,000 square foot, and a 500 square foot trailer over there.
no, yeah, exactly.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
We need to have there's a minimum for 1,000 square foot for a reason, that's why we're here, but, I mean, we don't wanna say, yeah, you can do that.
14 by 56 is 784 square feet.
It's awfully small.
Yeah, I'm thinking we need to go at least 60.
That's 840, Jim, or like,
Yes. And 60 is what I'm drawing on this Google Earth, and it's right to the edge. And I'm just assuming that I'm off of the property line, because I kind of lined it up where the existing trailers were. So 60 would work, 840.
And that would be the maximum that we would allow on that lot, or that would be the minimum?
well, if we do.
If it's granted.
we did that, that would be the very minimum. we allow
Okay.
On number one.
Well, what my intentions are is to start bringing in new trailers, or if I can find, it's hard to find repos or used homes that are nice. But what I was planning on doing is getting with one of these manufacturers and having one every 2 months. It takes me about 2 months to get the home delivered, get it skirted, get it water, sewer, electric, AC. That takes about a month or so, 6 weeks, and then it usually takes a couple of weeks to get a rental.
Well, you're doing a lot of work now, you're trying to clean that lot up quite a bit.
Yes, sir.
Park up, it looks like. anyway.
Yes, sir.
What's your thoughts? Right?
Mine? Well, this has come up second time that I've been to anyway. And my concerns is, why do we have the ordinance? We put in the concrete runners, why did we do that? As far as size, I think that also goes back to houses, right? Without, you can't put a house on a lot less than 1,000 square feet.
Right.
So, and then of course, mobile homes, you're limited to your width. It's usually the 14 to 16. They used to be all be 12, but then you put them wider, especially the double wides, and they can move it down the highway. So I would like to go back and find out why we accept the ordinance that says you need concrete runners. It really isn't there for a purpose, for safety.
Well, we tried doing that, the last time previously with Adam Arvez, and we really couldn't come up with a reason on concrete runners. We've given the concrete runners variances as long as it meets the the state standards. So I don't think we have an issue on that one. Obviously, the size of the trailer is more, you know, the main thing I think we need to do, in my opinion, is if we're gonna do a variance on the 1,000 square foot, I don't think we're gonna be setting precedent just because of this situation on Mr. Sudbury's, specifically this situation.
Well, apparently, this mobile home park has got lots that are smaller than we would require if you were building a new mobile home park today.
Correct. Well, and on that side it is, yes.
Like he's saying, I can't put in a 70-foot trailer 14-foot wide to meet that 1,000 square foot minimum. But it's a mobile home park. I don't have as much problem with letting put a smaller trailer in there as much as I have one of the concrete runners. Is it for safety? And you can always, if you put the concrete runners in for a 60-foot trailer, you came back 2 years later with a bigger mobile home, it ain't that difficult to set it on that runner and add it to the back of it. But if your lot ain't big enough, I think you have to look at what size this lot is.
Well, and I agree. I do think that we need to establish like a minimum on square footage.
Well, what purpose would it serve?
The minimum would serve the purpose that you couldn't go in there and put a,
Mobile home?
no,
I mean,
a 400 square
RV.
foot. Yeah.
Yeah, RV.
RV or a 400 square foot, portable building.
Well, as far as aesthetics and as far as looks, it looks better when they're all lined up across the front, your setback. When they're all lined up, then one sticking out toward the road is easy traffic.
Well, I think that that's kind of the goal, isn't it, Blake, is to try to get uniformity,
Yes, sir.
on your sides.
I think you're gonna have to really give some variances on this mobile home park because it is so old.
Yes.
That's what I agree. I'm good with that.
You want any more opinion, or is that good enough?
Blake, are you good with, 840 being the minimum?
Yes, sir.
For sure?
Yes, sir.
Jim, are you good with that? Now I'll make a motion to approve his variance for concrete runners and the 1,000-foot rule to a minimum of 840 square feet for lot number 1 only. Have a second?
I'll second.
Any discussion? All in favor? Motion carries 4-0. You got all that figured out, didn't you? Will that work, Mr. Sudbury?
Yes, sir.
The concrete runners obviously will have to be up to state code also. Which he's gonna obviously do that. That's how we did the last one that we did on lot number 16. Awesome. Anything else, Mr. Sudbury?
No, sir. I appreciate you.
No problem. Thank you for your time. Sorry about the other situation. Just for right now, we're gonna get
One at a time.
Yeah, one in a month.
We'll do it one at a time.
Yeah, one at a time for now. And if you're gonna do that, I would probably just go down your list. So you got 1, 2, 3, 6, and 7, correct?
Yes.
Is that the way, you don't have a number 4?
I don't have a 4.
And then you have number 20.
Yeah. 20 will only require the concrete runner, sir.
Yeah, I see that. 1, 3,
1, 2,
1, 2,
3,
3,
6, 7, we'll call them.
7, and 20 for concrete runners. So I would go ahead and get them in 1 month, whatever you want to do.
Yeah, like I said, it takes me about 2 months, so, you know, I'll be looking for one. When I get it bought, get it moved in, as it's being hooked up, then I'll come, we'll go to 2.
And Danielle's got get with her, she can get you all squared away. She's good at all that.
Yes, sir, she did it for me on 16.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
All right, y'all have a good day.
We don't have the representative on the next one, correct?
Correct. So I have their information. I don't know if y'all want to hear it and make a decision off of that, or if we want to table it and then I can contact them for the next meeting. That's just for concrete. It is the concrete runners once again. That is where we are.
So number 5, consideration of possible action on the application of Jenny Smith, agent for Maria Val Hernandez and Martin Lopez. The 209 Reed Street applicant is requesting variance due to installation of required concrete runners for manufactured homes. The property is located at 209 Reed Street, legally described as Fisher Meter Lot, tract 27, which is 3 lots, and .5733 acres. And that is all that one
Correct.
is for concrete runners.
Yes.
I went by and looked at that property this morning. There's a trailer currently on the property. It's not hooked up. It looks like it's just moved on the property is all it is. And not tied down, not hooked up, nothing. Danielle?
So this is for Maria Valen Hernandez and Martin Lopez. They are looking at a variance for the concrete runners. Once again, it is not a state law requirement that they need to be there, but it is in our ordinance for the city of Cleveland. This is a already established subdivision, from my understanding, which is Smith subdivision, and that is what they are wanting to present to see if they can receive a variance on the concrete runners.
And I know that trigger's money there.
It's 75, I don't know.
Again, it's just a concrete run.
Make a motion for a concrete block for the runners.
So I have a motion to approve the variance for the concrete, to not use the concrete runner to do a Texas trailer. Do I have a second? Mr. Moore has made a motion, Cynthia has given me a second. All in favor? Motion carries 4-0. Anything else, Danielle?
Given the multiple variances that we are receiving regarding the concrete runners, I would definitely like to look further into it on why this was included in the ordinance.
and just kind of get a research on, you know, why the city of Cleveland decided to have that included, just so in the future, when we do run into this, if we need to make any adjustments to the ordinance with the concrete runners, then we can do so on that. And if there's any adjustments that need to be made in lieu of concrete runners, we can have that included.
So what we did on this the last time is we sent it to city council, but it was never taken to city council.
Okay.
And even Mr. Sudbury came to, a couple of city council meetings at first, and used his 3 minutes to speak about it. For whatever reason, in translation between Adam Artemis and the city, whatever it just got dropped.
Okay.
And it was specifically for the concrete runners. Myself tried to figure it out through Adam Marquez and Scott, why, Fred and I, Mr. Carroll and I spoke about it several times also, on how or why the concrete runners ever came up, how they ever got approved. And unfortunately, the one person you have currently on our city council who's been here since Jesus was born is Fred Terrell. So, and if he can't remember, then I think we're all in trouble. And he couldn't. And so I don't know what the answer is other than unless the city council is going to amend that ordinance for concrete runners and go with the Texas code. Then we're gonna have to just keep doing variances. Yes, sir.
I have a question. Let's say you said you require him to do the concrete runner. What length, what depth, what width? We know the length would be the length of the trailer, but, and how much rebar goes in there? Do we have a detail telling them that?
Well, the problem with our ordinance is it doesn't
That's what I'm
It
getting
doesn't
at.
describe any of that. The concrete, there's not a per square foot weight limit. There's not, it doesn't show you, if I'm not mistaken, and Danielle can correct me, but if I'm not mistaken, it doesn't show you.
I'm in the process of
how to-
gathering an
how to build
engineering
it.
criteria manual on that, but as of right now, from what I've seen in the ordinance, there is not engineering plans on that. However, in items that I've dealt with manufactured homes, I have had an architect look at them and give me approval on what is required on certain ones. But I think that is something that I'm gonna have to look into to see what those requirements are and what weight needs to be in there, how much rebar, and those engineering details
Well,
on
that's
that.
not a very difficult challenge for an engineer and architect.
Oh, yeah, absolutely not.
Now, here's the thing. I don't really care what state requires or not. If our city feels like you need to have runners,
Mhm.
because our city may be different than one that's 200 miles
Correct.
north. We have hurricanes coming in.
Right.
And right now, you anchor a mobile home by just a screw in the ground. Am I correct?
Correct.
Okay. And I just.
I mean, a little bit more to it than just, but yeah.
I know, and there's a strap and so forth. Anyway, I think a runner makes it more permanent, and I think it also makes it safer. Because as you build and I'm thinking of a 1 foot, 2 feet deep runner with rebar with a loop in it that you could tie that mobile home to every 4 feet, 8 feet, whatever an engineer tells us, then that would make it more. I understand HUD requires it, and maybe, I was told Montgomery County requires it.
The deal was, the way we was able to get the variance was because we didn't have a set in stone, the dimensions or, you know, how much rebar, or what size rebar, and, you know,
And this was a
what
question I
PSI
asked
concrete, you know, there was
Well,
no,
this, yeah, we actually asked,
6 months ago, this question
yeah.
came up. We should have an answer about that.
Well, correct. But I think part of it, and I'm not giving the city a reason or an excuse, I think part of the reason though, this was something that was on Adam Arden's schedule. He was trying to get that all worked out, figured out, and obviously he's no longer with the city. But that is the biggest issue. If we can get some reasoning behind it and I say a set of drawings, at least a minimum standards on this You know, is it 24 inches, is it whatever the, width and depth and, all that, and the reason for it. If we, what I wanted to do is try to, and Adam was gonna try to do it, is to go back and find somebody that has put in the concrete runners. And he wasn't able to find anybody that had ever put in the concrete runners since the ordinance was in place.
I think we do have, I think we do have to do. I can reach out to some that I know that I believe we have had, because we did that permit applications for them. So there's individuals that I can contact directly and get that information from.
And, kind of like to know how did they do them? Because there's no drawings.
There's no criteria.
Yeah, there's no criteria on it, so. And until then, we're just going to keep going through them. And then also on Mr. Sudbury, if we can touch base with Mary Ann and just see, if we can legally, it's, saying a little thing, he has 5 more lots
Mm-hmm.
to do variances on, 4 of which are for concrete runners and for the 840 square foot minimum. If Mary Ann doesn't have a problem with doing those 5 at one time, she did before just because we was doing a blanket over the entire trailer park. We can't do that.
Right.
But if maybe we could ask her if she was okay with doing specifically 2, 3, 6, 7, and then 20 on concrete runners. If she didn't have a problem with that, then.
With, regarding concrete runners or the 1,000 square feet?
Well, she don't have any say-so over, this board has a say-so over the variances. What I want to know is could he put in a variance for those specific at one time?
Build all at once.
Okay.
Instead of coming in individually.
So, I mean, yes, I understand what you're saying, but I think prior to touching base with her on the concrete runners and getting that question as far as if she could do it, if it's something that can be done all at once, I would like to get the back in on why for the concrete runners before I approach her to see if we can do it all at once.
She doesn't need to answer that. We don't need Mary Ann to answer whether we give the variance or not, because that's not her position. So we don't, all we want to know is on this trailer park, can, instead of doing one at a time, can we give him a variance on those multiple spots? That's all we want to know. We don't want to know whether we give the variance or not. That's not her. That's not up to her.
If he labels them out, saying lot 2, 3, lot 2, lot 3, lot 4, lot 5, can I get a, variance on these lots?
On these specific lots.
Instead of saying over the whole property, if we can just do it,
Specify.
do it per lot.
Okay, perfect.
And that's the only question to ask. We don't want to ask whether the concrete runners or Texas code or any of that, because that, she can't tell us anything on that. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, it makes perfect sense.
And it would give him, save him some money and get him done at one time instead of having to come in for 5 variances. What were you gonna, Mr. Terrell?
Well, my question is the second item, number 5, that you said is 3 lots. That sounds like it's sitting in an area around other houses, residential. So I wonder how it was zoned.
Well, it's 3 spaces is what it is. I said lots, but it's 3 spaces in the trailer park.
Well, so you're saying it is it's zoned, Robert said it's zoned mixed use, which
It's zoned what?
mixed use, you can do,
I think that
build on
is,
site, mobile homes.
yes.
See, the whole purpose when we went to zoning 10 years ago was to keep the mobile homes and residents, get them separated. And it's gonna take 25 years for this to ever happen. But like, this gentleman has a mobile home park, it's always been a park, it'll always be a mobile home park. But the second one sounds like it might be sitting inside a residential area. So I don't
But
know.
no, the second one is on Reed Street, 209 Reed Street, and that is set in residential. There's several trailers in that area, but,
Yeah. Well, I guess how it's zoned, if it's zoned mixed use, that gives them the clearance to do it.
on 209 Reed Street, on the application, it says present zone mixed use. But I'm going off of what's just put on the application. I don't know that that's mixed use, but 209 Reed Street is a subdivision back there. And they do have, there's several trailers and houses next together. Now, Mr. Sudbury, that is a true trailer park. All good?
Yes, sir.
Anything else? Ready to go? That's good.
Motion to adjourn.
All in favor? Good.